Greetings! It's I, Tempest Naravan Dracovin, your Lord and Emperor here at the Dracovin Empire, and welcome once more. Are you ready to dive back into some more tabletop topics? We're heading back to the Pathfinder role-playing game system and the world of Golarion. I hope everybody's enjoying your day, whether you're joining me, of course, live on Twitch or later on YouTube after I upload this video there. Remember, wherever you're at, give the proper support. That means you people on YouTube like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. My question for today is, have any of you played our species? Kasatha. Now, this is an interesting one, because the Kasatha are pretty big in Starfinder. We're talking about them in Pathfinder. Well, yes and no. I'm going to begin by, of course, talking about a couple of books you can check out that I would recommend if you're going to do some deeper dives into Kasatha and their stats and such. And I would start recommending, of course, the Iron Gods books, especially these two here of the Iron Gods series, Valley of the Brain Collectors, and Fires of Creation. These are from the Iron Gods Adventure Pass, which deals with technology. It deals with, space stuff, Numeria, all those kind of things. And, of course, the People of the Stars, which is a Pathfinder book, I would also recommend. Now, sorry. The Kasatha, as they are on Golarion, because they do live on Golarion in Numeria's wilds, are secretive nomadic four-armed species. They do hail from outside Golarion star system. They originate on the planet Kasatha, and they are basically, it's a desert world that they're acclimated to. Now, if you look at them, they are gray-skinned, they have four arms, they have these kind of black eyes, smooth face, kind of like a no proboscis. Their skull's kind of elongated. Their lean bodies, they are about 6 to 7 feet tall, weigh about 120, 200 pounds. They mature at 25 and live up to about 100 to 140 years natural. So that's our Kasathas, as you just kind of look at them outright. Now, how did they come to Golarion? Well, the few stories that talk about the Kasathas basically are rare. Being found in Numeria, it's assumed that they're related to the arrival of the various asteroids and things that crash landed there, aka a spaceship crash landed there. There are other alien things, androids and such, which are in the Numeria region that they could be related to. The only thing about them, too, is the ones that you find on Golarion, despite having their own traditions and language, they don't really know a lot about how they got here in the first place. It's information that's lost to even them because of whatever happened that caused them to arrive. And it does keep a level of lack of cultural memory in this way, and just being secretive, too. Unfortunately. Now, societally, they are nomadic. Their original planet was a desert world orbiting a red sun. We'll talk about it in a second here. But they've kept that kind of exploration, being nomadic people, in their ways. They have a tradition that when a Kasatha youth comes of age, they leave their clan, usually for a year, and then return to their people with any riches or knowledge they acquired during their journey. It's called tempering, in which young adults have a period of self-discovery before they assume their adult responsibilities within the Kasatha society. Now, we do have to talk just a little bit. I'm going to show you this one here. This is a Starfinder Kasatha. So we're going into the future because we do want to talk a little bit about what we know about them from Starfinder, because it does paint a little bit of picture. The Kasathas are defended from Witchweirds, which is a race of planar travelers. We'll talk about Witchweirds in the future, but just keep in mind that that means they are descended of another species that basically settled on the distant planet Kasatha. And during the time period of the Pathfinder world, they are developing technology and stuff like that. It is assumed that they will be thousands of years of technological advancements before the worlds in the Golarion system. And the main thing that happens is when we get to Starfinder, which is distant future from Pathfinder, but it is the future from it, or at least one future, and past the gap, they have settled on Akaton. basically witch weirds showed up to them and told them to go there, it would have been a close enough planet of their own. Who knows, for maybe other reasons or anything. That's kind of like they went on a big planet ship and took their entire civilization and all their people, a world ship, to Akaton. So yeah. But that's basically a setup for kind of understanding where they came from, too, that we have this other planet that may be more advanced than Golarion is now, but who knows how far advanced yet, and the people that live there. The Kasatha are very interesting people in that way, that we really have more of them when we come to Starfinder, but we do have them in Pathfinder, even though they are alien species from a very distant planet. Yes, of course, as I mentioned, they are descendants of witchweirds, which you're like, oh, okay, they could have been witchweirds that moved into Golarion and settled in and also became Kasatha? I mean, it's possible. Two groups of the same species basically evolving into similar things when left on similar places and similar on planets. Maybe, Numeria's very kind of barren, deserty to a degree, even though it's very far north, not as hot as I would assume that their original home planet was, or places like Akaton. But yeah, it has a little bit of that. Again, we're probably pretty sure that the Great Crash Land, that this spaceship that was exploring the system that crashed in Numeria around the time of during the Age of Darkness, probably is what brought them there. It seems as though they were sampling life or collecting life from various places throughout the galaxy, and they must have just been here to check out what was going on and got caught up in destruction and fell to the planet and left behind their androids, the Kasatha, and a bunch of other species, some of which are found in the Golarion system, but now also here. It makes for an interesting group of people that are not natives to Golarion, but have become natives to Golarion because they've been here so long now. And it's also an interesting thing to think about that what happened to the Kasatha that were native to the system, that had become natives here, once their brethren arrived, post-Gath. It's not really talked about. I haven't seen anything directly on it. So I am also very wondering what it means. Did they go extinct? Did they travel on their own? I don't know. But it's something to think about, even for, linking up Pathfinder and Starfinder games again, that you might want to keep that in mind, too, and this may be another option for stuff. Because there are Kasatha on Golarion. Not many of them, but they're there. Anyway, we'll leave it there for today. I wanted to give you the kind of introduction to this species, because it's a very interesting one. There isn't a lot about it on the Pathfinder side, except some mechanics of how to play them. But because it has a direct connection with, of course, a Starfinder species, that's a pretty big one. That's why I really thought they were, interesting to talk about. Because really, when you get into them, they are in the core rules of Starfinder. Kasatha are one of the core species in the original Starfinder world. We'll see in the second edition, probably, but we'll see. So just think about that. And why they're important to think about here. And, if you want to see more Pathfinder stuff or more tabletop stuff, make sure to check me out either here on either of the channels. I do live, usually Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, the backup day if I miss any of those days for the tabletop stuff. And then, of course, all that goes up on YouTube. Crimson Queen, that's my Pathfinder live play show, 9 p.m. on Wednesdays, EST, and then discussing tabletop on Saturdays, where we talk news of the week and deeper discussion topics that are very interesting in the tabletop world. That's at 6 EST on Saturdays. Discord.com, link below for social medias, and that's it. Alright, everybody. I'm going to go and leave you with some thoughts of what you think about Kasatha And maybe that's another question for it that I kind of finish up there. What do you think about them as this species that we're introduced to in the original Pathfinder, but really are more important in Starfinder? And also are maybe not connected to the two of them? Not really mentioned as much. Anyway, until the next time we chat about this, anything, get into more interesting topics. I bid all of you out out there, a deep and wonderful English farewell. This is terrible.